Steve Jobs said, "Innovation is the only way to win." Welcome to Genius Innovators, an inspirational show about ideas, creativity, and strategies to help innovators and entrepreneurs aspire to be their best. Welcome to Toney Fitzgerald's Masterclass podcast.
Hi, Toney Fitzgerald here for another episode of Genius Innovators, a show where we inspire other innovators to be successful in bringing their products from the conception stage to market. And today I'm really excited because I have an awesome person who's an innovator in front of me, Lisa Wells, who's the inventor of the Tubbie, which is the coolest way, there it is there, the coolest way to eat ice cream. So hi Lisa, how you doing?
I'm great, Tony. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. How's things down there in Adelaide? Whereabouts are you in Adelaide?
We're in the Adelaide Hills. We're just recovering from a massive storm. We lost power last night and all my ice cream melted. It was just a disaster.
All the ice cream melted. Well, it's a beautiful place. I'm like kicking myself because when I was down there over 2 weeks in that Christmas period, as you know, I didn't get a chance to pop in and see you, but I know the area well, and it's just a beautiful place, and I look forward to revisiting it again.
Definitely next time, yeah.
So anyway, look, let's visit the creation of the Tubbie. It's what I call the flash of genius moment. So for you listeners, you viewers here today, really what I want to do with these interviews is just present to you different scenarios of different innovators with different products and services and go through how they, took their idea from that conceptual stage to commercialization. So making it a reality. So Lisa, let's go to that flash of genius moment. When did that happen?
Okay, that flash of genius moment happened. I was living in Noosa in Queensland. And I was sitting on the couch. So I know some people have their flashes of ideas on the toilet or in the shower. Mine was on the couch and I was enjoying my ice cream. When I eat ice cream, I like to, like many others, just grab it out of the freezer, grab a spoon, open the lid and just get started. And that's just how we like to eat our ice cream. And
favorite, Ben & Jerry's?
It's one of my favorites, yeah. Look, there's so many ice creams available out there. It's really hard to choose, but part of my job is being aware of what's out there, so I have to try them all. So, damn it.
What a tough job.
I know, one of the perks, really. So, I was sitting on the couch trying to enjoy my ice cream experience, and I just found that as the ice cream was melting, the condensation would, be freezing cold running down my arm, and my fingers would be freezing. I'd grab a tea towel, that dirty old tea towel that sits on the oven there, wrap it around, and that would be okay. If it was in winter time, I'd try and get my blanket and snuggle it around. And I've heard some people would even try and get their sleeve, if it was, and try and do something like this. It's like, well, there's got to be a better way, really.
That'd be a good blog post to write up about how, people, the weird and wacky ways that people eat their ice cream.
What they did before they, stumbled onto the Tubbies, basically.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so that was when I had my aha moment. It's like there has to be a better way to enjoy. You pay a lot of money for this ice cream. It's not cheap. So the experience that goes with it, you want to enjoy that as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I guess I just thought about it, and I guess a stubby cooler, in Australia we are big fans of stubby coolers. I think in America and the UK they don't really get it. They don't really use stubby coolers over there for their beer and that sort of thing. But so stubby cooler, I thought, well, just get a stubby cooler and just change the shape and it'll fit that and it will insulate and all my problems will be solved.
So a stubby to a Tubbie.
Exactly, yeah.
Connecting the dots, I love that.
Yeah, it did start out as a thin fluoro neoprene, ugly-looking number with just this sort of tape down the side. And it was called the Still Cooler, the first product that I made, the prototype. And I called it that because it was, well, how's your ice cream? Oh, it's still cooler. Doesn't really make sense now that I think about it, but back then it did.
Yeah.
It's still cooler. So I didn't trademark any of that kind of stuff. I guess it was just a discovery mission, really, to see what was possible. I'd never done anything like this before. I left school when I was 15. And I just kind of floated from job to job, not really knowing what I wanted to do with myself. So to have this invention was kind of fun. It's sort of, no, they hadn't been anywhere else in the world that I'd seen. So luckily the internet had been invented by then, and I could do a bit of research.
Yeah, look, the internet's fantastic for research, but let's visit that moment. It was interesting when you said you haven't done anything like this before. So, I get intrigued by this flash of genius moment when people are not even an innovator or an entrepreneur or an inventor and they haven't created a product, and all of a sudden in that moment they see a need, solve a problem, whether it's in the shower or, on the couch or in the bush or whatever, and then all of a sudden this idea comes to life and they go, well, yeah, well, let's turn it into a product when they actually haven't done that before. And then when you said, well, I haven't done anything like this before, from that flash of genius moment, what happened then to transition you into that moving forward to saying, well, I've got to bring this out as a product when you haven't done that before?
Yeah, I think it was a curiosity. How far can it go?
Yeah.
Could this really be a thing? Like, there's nothing else out there. Why hasn't it been thought of before? And yeah, how far can I take this? Can this be something that could be something, basically?
But what drove that in you? It's like at that point when you hadn't done it before. You said you were what before? Just out of school and.
Yeah, look, I left school when I was 15, and I just sort of went from job to job. I guess I didn't really think that I would achieve anything much in my life. And I think I saw the Tubbies as a vehicle to, help me get that way. I had read a lot of things about people like Abraham Lincoln and people that hadn't finished school but had actually had quite a successful life.
Yeah.
And those things inspire me. And really the curiosity of it. It was just curiosity. Can this be something? Let's see how far we can take it.
Wow. So from that flash of genius, you then decided that you'd settled on the name and you made the connection between Stubby and Tubby. So you called it Tubby. Then
the Tubby came a little bit further down. The first one was called Still Cooler, and I just got them made up in Australia, so I got some quotes from some neoprene factories, and it was very rough.
Through that for our viewers.
Okay.
You thought, right, I've got to create this product. How did you go to the source, the people that you had to go to? What was your thinking? What was your process there?
It was just basically I knew that a stubby cooler was made out of neoprene, and I knew that a stubby cooler had insulating properties. I wasn't aware how great it was as an insulator though, but I knew that it had that. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to stop it from melting so quickly in summer that it would I couldn't eat it quick enough before it melted. And then in the wintertime, I wanted it to not make my hands freezing and not be an uncomfortable situation, because I still want to eat my ice cream in winter without being uncomfortable. So they were the two things that I wanted, and I figured that neoprene could do that for me just from looking at stubby coolers, because I used to drink a bit of bourbon out of the can back in the day. And,
back in the old days, probably listening to Jimmy Barnes.
Not quite, but I love you, Jimmy. And yeah, so the first ones we've got, they're really thin neoprene, so they might have been about a 3 mil neoprene, and I didn't really know any different, and I just rang up a couple of neoprene factories. I got out the yellow pages probably back then, and rang up a few. I think I was even living in Hervey Bay at the time in Queensland by this point, and I rang up about 3 different places. I know that you've got to, you have to shop around and get quotes and all that kind of stuff, and by the third phone call, this person on the other end of the phone almost yelled at me and said, look, why do you keep ringing up all these places for, quotes on this thing? And so apparently everybody was going back to this one main manufacturer to get quotes for this product. So that sort of tells you how small the neoprene industry was in Queensland at the time. And I cried, actually. I thought, this man's yelling at me. I don't know what to do. And, it had a bit of effect on me. I was a bit of a softie back then. Not a very strong sort of backbone and self-confidence and all that kind of stuff. So that affected me, and I think I even put it on the shelf for a while there until I met my husband, I think. So probably maybe 2 or 3 years I stopped doing anything with it.
Wow, so you put it on the shelf for 2 or 3 years, and then you reignited it again.
I did when I met my husband, and I think it was even maybe before we got married. We decided to start a company for it, like a business for it. So I told my hubby about the Tubbies, and
Great
we had a
combination there, the hubby and the tubby.
yeah, and we had like some brainstorming sessions, and we came up with the name of the Tubbie, which is derived from stubby. So it's like a stubby cooler for your tub of ice cream.
Yeah.
And he had the idea to put the fur on them, and it just transformed them. It transformed it from this really ugly looking thing to something that actually feels amazing.
So why the fur?
Pardon?
Why the fur? And for our viewers, it's not real fur.
No, fake fur.
Yeah, it's for
It
lovers out there. We just want to make sure that that's right, so you don't get upset.
That.
Animals around getting killed for the tubby.
Not for the cause, no.
Yeah.
Fur it feels amazing. If you feel a plain tubby without the fur on it, so just neoprene, it doesn't feel fabulous. And like I said before, with the ice cream costing up to $10 for 500 mils, you want the experience. Yeah, you want the experience to be luxurious. So the fur really adds that extra, touch to it. So, and it just looks great. And they can be branded. You can put patches on there, branded patches for companies and everything like that. So the fur really was the way forward for that. So that was, I guess, the name, the Tubby, and the design with the fur. We just had to get some fake fur from Spotlight to start off and make our first prototype, because before we made an order, we wanted to, make sure that it looked okay. So we did that. And then my husband has a cousin who has a friend who knew someone who had a factory in Hong Kong.
Wow.
And we knew we would have to get them manufactured overseas, because in Australia, the facilities just weren't set up for the fur. Like, sure, they could make the Tubby without the fur, but the fur really messes up with their machines. Like, it gets stuck in their machines and stuff like that. So we couldn't get them made in Australia as much as we wanted to. And we didn't want to get, there's heaps of companies out there. Like, if you want to get a product made in China, they will source a factory for you. We didn't really want to do that. It was a money thing. It was, just a money issue, really. We wanted to try and get a factory ourselves. But luckily, we had this cousin's friend who had a friend in Hong Kong, and she actually made snow globes. So it wasn't her area of expertise, but she got a factory for us over there, and she handled it all for us there. And it was so peculiar that we actually had to buy the fur here wholesale in Australia, because in China they couldn't source the fake fur, which I found very bizarre.
Wow.
At the time. Yeah. So, I'm so ahead of my time, Tony. It's fascinating.
I just find that amazing that, China couldn't source fur.
I know. There's a lot of fake fur in Europe, but yeah, maybe now there's a lot more fake fur in China, which you would think. But yeah, at the time, we had to send the fur to her, and she passed it on to the factory.
Right, the fur to her.
We sent the fur to her.
You can just think of that connection of names.
Yeah.
Fur to her. Okay, so the fur to her.
We sent the fur to her, and we ordered 1,000. We said it was a sample run, and I guess that's a tip for some people that, the minimum run is probably 3,000 or 5,000, but you can just say, look, I need a sample run of 1,000, and they'll generally do it for you.
Yeah.
So someone told us that, and I was so grateful for that tip. Because there's no way we wanted to buy 3,000 units and, be stuck with them if that was the case. So we ordered 1,000. We ordered 500 1 litre, so I think Sarah Lee connoisseur sort of size, and we ordered 500 of the 500 mil.
Yeah.
And of course, experience now has shown that the 500 mil is definitely the way that we should have just gone, but we didn't know then. We just went down the middle, half of each. We got tiger, we got cow, we got zebra, we got cheetah, and we got tiger malt, which is tiger but a brown instead of a more darker brown instead of a gold.
What about kangaroo and koala?
Well, that would just be grey, probably.
Platypus.
Maybe the next run we can do that. So at some point they emailed us and said, because we wanted the fur to go this way, like the fur has a grain or whatever it's called, and we wanted the fur to be facing down. It just feels better.
Okay.
And they sent an email and they said, oh, look, we've put on, say, maybe 200 of them, the fur upside down. Can we offer you a 10% discount? And I kind of said, 10% discount. I said, make it 50 and you've got a deal, basically, because what are they going to do with them anyway? So we got a bit of a discount on our thing, which was good. I mean, it could have been a disaster possibly, but I guess at that point in time, my frame of mind was a lot stronger, you know. So I could have accepted that 10% discount, but I just thought, it just didn't feel like that was enough.
Yeah,
like,
I would have challenged more, but the thing is did it make a difference, like with the fur going down, with the fur going up, did it make a difference? Like, obviously you sold those products, but the consumer might be aware of that detail of the fur going down rather than up.
Not really. I think it was just me. You know, when you're the owner of a product, you know it intimately, you know every detail of it. Most people wouldn't even notice it, really, anyway. So I just thought, well, they've made a mistake, so we need to be compensated, basically. So
all Tubbies now have the fur going down?
Yes, they do.
Right.
Strict criteria, I can tell you.
Yeah, well, look, some people might have just said, look, that's not good enough, we won't take it. The fur has got to be absolutely down, but, you know, you made a choice there, and it paid off. Yeah. You can either accept it or not accept it. Okay.
So we got our first run of 1,000. It was very exciting, and we did up a website, and we actually had quite a good success with lastminute.com.
Yeah.
They used to do gifts and experiences, and that went really well. We were selling quite a few on that. I got a spread in the New Weekly magazine. They loved it. We had pink ones and purple ones, and they did like a big girlfriend thing, and they put our Tubbies in there. So we were getting a bit of traction, and it was going really well. And then Naomi Simons bought lastminute.com and turned it into Red Balloon Days, and they didn't do gifts anymore. They only did experiences, and that dried up that cash flow for us. There wasn't really another website that could offer us what Last Minute did. So
you bought Last Minute?
Lastminute.com, yeah.
Naomi Simpson, yeah?
Yeah, from Shark Tank, yeah.
Shark Tank.
Of course, she turned Red Balloon Days into this massive thing, and our Tubbies now, you know, got left off the shelf.
Well, you never know. You might have to go back and get on the next episode or series of Shark Tank or something. I don't know, but it's just an idea.
Possibly, yeah. So, that was a bit disappointing, and we really had to rethink our strategies and all that kind of stuff. So, over the years, you know, I guess my confidence as a business person has gone up. It's ebbed and flowed, sort of thing. So, pardon?
As it does?
It does, yeah. And now we're at the point where we've got a couple of stockists in Adelaide. We've got the website. We've been in the Huffington Post for their Mother's Day special. We were just recently on the Food Network's show, The Kitchen, for Mother's Day. I've made sure the website's up and running for international shipping and all that kind of stuff. So now I guess it needs to get out there into the world. It needs to get there to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's why we've been talking, I guess, to see where we can take it, you know.
Yeah, well, look, I think it's got great potential, and it's like, you know, I don't know if you saw that video. I think you did, that video of the top 10, you know, craziest innovations that made millions and, you know, not billions, but hey, let's face it, some ideas do go into the billions category, but, you know, just simple little things like Billy Bob's teeth and that plastic spider that climbs up and down the world. That made $40 million. And then there's another video I watched the other day of a lady that created a makeup thing because she had a frustration with eyeliner, and she just recently visited Australia. I can't remember her name, but she put it on the Home Shopping Network, and I think within 24 minutes or something like that, she sold 1 million units.
Oh, wow, mate.
So, you know, the thing is when you've got a product like the Tubbie or anything, it's all in the marketing, you know, and And,
Yeah.
marketing is just these days compared to the old days, you've got social media, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and there are many people out there that are, putting their product out there and marketing it, and then boom, it goes through the roof. So even though
Mm,
Tubbies hasn't reached that level yet of huge consumer demand and whatever, I still think it's achievable, definitely.
yeah. Yeah, and so do I.
Hmm.
And it's a great product, and it deserves being out there in the world with all those ice cream eaters, who adore their ice cream, and they'll adore Tubbies as well.
Yeah, well, look how many people eat ice cream. Every single one of us eats ice cream. No? So that's the thing. It's like it's about supply and demand. It's like it makes a lot of sense that if you've got an ice cream here and you're getting cold hands and it's dripping and whatever, that you have the tubby and that solves that solution. So tell me, what are the benefits? What are the 5 benefits of the tubby? Let's just visit that.
Sure. I actually haven't mentioned yet, but we did get Tubbies scientifically tested.
Yeah, tell me about that. It's important.
I guess we wanted to prove that Tubbies were actually functional as well as fashionable. So I needed $1,000. I rang up the Department of Primary Industries in Queensland and got some information, got all the information I needed. How would they do it? What would the test prove? How much would this cost? So it would cost $1,000 to have this testing done. And what they would do is we would need to buy 6 tubs of ice cream, and they would have 3 without Tubbies and 3 with Tubbies on. And they've got about 4 or 5 probes in each tub. And as the ice cream melted, it would just register on a graph. So it was really amazing feedback. And the results were that with the Tubby on, the ice cream stayed frozen for twice as long.
Wow.
But that's really great for investors to know that actually it is a product that has a use, it's functional. You can take it to the supermarket, and when you buy your ice cream, put your Tubby in it, and it'll help with keeping it frozen on the journey home, because when your ice cream melts and then you put it back in the freezer, it crystallizes and gets all those crunchy ice bits, which are yucky.
Yeah, I love the, in the summer, it's like, how many times when you buy an ice cream in the summer, does it melt so quickly?
Mm.
There's a definite need for it because, like it's sporting games, like NFL, AFL, or they don't play that in the summer, but, codes that play in the summer, like cricket and whatever, it's like the Tubby should be selling at every sports stadium, where they're selling ice cream at sporting games. There's so many places in the summer that the Tubby could sell.
Yeah, and I've got a little tiny one too. This is a little 200 ml.
Yeah,
for like the
show us
bullets.
products. So start from the bottom and go to the top. So that's the
200 ml.
200 ml.
Yep, so that's for Sundays, McDonald's Sundays and Hungry Jack Sundays, and also the Creamy Classics range from Buller.
Yeah.
Then the 500 ml, which is your Ben and Jerry's, Maggie Beer, all sorts of amazing, delicious ice creams. And there's the 1 litre one, which I haven't got here at the moment. So that's for Connoisseur and Sara Lee and that size. A lot of people have reservations and they say, well, I'm not going to eat a whole tub of ice cream in one sitting, especially the 1 litre. But that's okay, because what happens is it just stops your ice cream from melting.
Yeah.
And it preserves it, so you will get it out, have as much as you want, and then you can put it back in the freezer and it won't have the crystallization. Or if you're having a dinner party and you've got a 1 litre tub of ice cream, it probably looks a bit ugly, you jazz it up with a Tubby, it looks fabulous. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of benefits to having the Tubbies, and having it scientifically tested. It's pretty cool, just to start with, anyway.
So let's drill down into the 5 benefits of the Tubby succinctly. Mm-hmm. What are they? 1,
it keeps your ice cream frozen for longer.
2,
it makes your ice cream eating experience more enjoyable and more luxurious.
3.
They're my top 2 experience. They're my top 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so it stops the ice cream.
I'm pushing you.
You are pushing me. It stops the crystallization process. So basically, it makes your ice cream last longer at a better quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's 3. 4. So what am I doing? The benefit.
You look cool eating it out of a Tubby.
Yeah. You look cool. It feels cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Right, let's go for that last one, the 5th one.
The golden nugget. Okay. The fifth benefit of having a tubby. You'll basically help my retirement fund.
That's why we're in this game, to create products that are going to sell. That's what it's all about. That's
Yeah.
cool. Well, look, I push you because it's really important to know that what the features are of the product and what the benefits are, and the distinction between features and benefits. But
Yeah.
again, the benefits, a benefit sell sheet is really what it's about. And if you can take what this product's going to do for the consumer, and
Yeah.
they're very clear on that, then they'll buy it.
So less washing up. You don't need to use a bowl.
Yeah, less washing up. Well, let's visit that. What happens if the ice cream does melt, or whatever, and ice cream slips and it goes onto the fur of the tubby? What happens then?
It's really easy. Ice cream will just wash off, basically. Even on this white one, I've had a few stains on it.
Yeah.
A little accidents and that kind of thing. So you can either just get like a damp sponge or a cloth and just sponge it off.
Yeah.
Or for this one, because it's white and I got the chocolate ice cream on it, I put it in a garment bag in the washing machine, and I just put it in with a normal load of washing, and it came out perfectly clean. So the fur isn't really an issue when it comes to being dirty and yucky. And honestly, I've been eating out of Tubbies for years, and it's pretty rare that I would actually get a mess on it. So even the kids, they tend to look after their ice cream, and they're very careful with it when they eat it. So
you can take a tubby into the shower and put some soap on it, and use it as a brush as well. You ever thought of that?
Bit of an exfoliator.
We'll bring out the exfoliating tubby. There's another innovation idea. All right, I'm just aware of the time here, but let's look at trademark. How did you protect the idea? A patent or trademark?
Yeah, look, I was in a lot of turmoil about this for a period of time. And there was, of course, the cost of it, or a patent especially. We've done trademarks. Trademarks were quite affordable. I've trademarked the name and we trademarked the logo.
Right.
And that was easy. I actually did all that myself. Just got to research the heck out of it, There's so much info on the IP website, IP Australia website. So that was okay. But in the end, we decided not to patent it for a few reasons. And that was the amount of money it would have cost to do that versus the type of product it is. Like, it's just an ice cream cooler, man. It's not brain surgery or anything like that. So, and I've seen products ripped off left, right and centre all over the world. And I just thought the money was not really enough protection for what it was worth.
Yeah.
Does that make
debate
sense?
About patents and, whether to or whether not to, and
someone would just have to change one thing and bang, it's theirs, and to me that didn't really offer the protection that I thought it needed. I just thought if you're going to protect it, it needs to be protected, not just to change one thing on it and then someone else can just rip it off. So Cheap as Chips, Crazy Clark's, all those, there's all those rip-off inventions in all those shops, and I just thought paying the money for this product was not worth it.
Yeah.
Didn't offer me the protection that I wanted. So
you got the protection in the trademark. So you did that online, went to ipaustralia.gov.au and learnt the process of how to register a trademark. And for those viewers that are watching this, there's two paths you can go down. You can go to an IP lawyer and pay, look, I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying that the costs can be exorbitant and you can go down that path. But if you go online and you learn the process and you watch the videos online at IP Australia, you can register your own trademark, and it's just so easy. And, the trademark could go down the process of being accepted or not being accepted. And then if it doesn't get accepted and there's some challenges to get it over the line, then you'll learn the process of how to get over that. Not every trademark, is successful in registration, but I just say to you viewers that, just learn the process of registering a trademark, like Lisa did. So you just did it, bang, you got it.
Do your homework. And I found that after we did, we had registered with IP Australia and all that, I was getting these really weird letters in the post from, they probably send emails now, but back in the day it was post from people in Germany or just other countries. I don't know what they were even offering. They were trying to do our trademark for us or something. Do you know about that, Tony? Like, what's that about?
Well, the thing is that when there's companies out there that watch trademark registrations, and they've got services that can help, you get your trademark into, like if you just registered in Australia, like depending on the idea, you might want to register it in the UK or in America, but you might want to register it in 15 countries around the world, whatever. These companies watch your trademark registration and then they go, well, we're here, and it's just a lead generation thing for them to reach out to you to say, hey, we're here to help you, register your trademark in other countries or register another trademark in the same trademark in a different category. So they're just, looking for extra business, and that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They felt a bit scam-like back in the day, so I'm not sure if they were scammers or
Oh,
what.
hey, there are some scammers out there. You just got to be really, careful that when you do register a trademark, whether you get something through the post. I get things through the post. I get things through the email. And, in the beginning, I was like, whoa, what's this? But just don't, respond to it very quickly. Just make sure it's legit, it's legal, who they are. But most of the time, you don't really need them.
Yeah.
Quite honest. If you're going to make a decision to amplify and register your trademark in other countries around the world, then at that point, that's where you get a lawyer engaged, but on a smaller scale, do it yourself. But, also if you want to engage a lawyer, like an IP lawyer, then yeah, definitely do it.
Well, it is doable, and I think that's important to know. And it can be scary, but knowledge is power. So just get that knowledge.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I always say. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Knowledge is power, and get clued up. And the only way you learn to do it, like Aristotle said many, many years ago, the only way to learn is to learn by doing. And then if you learn something today, well, then tomorrow you'll learn something tomorrow that you didn't know the day before. And that's the process of it. Just every day, just keep learning, keep getting your power with knowledge. And then before you know it, like 12 months down the track, like if you're a new inventor or an entrepreneur that's starting out, guarantee that in 12 months' time you can reflect back and look back and go, wow, what are all the learning things that I learned, in my 12 months? And, you've got lots. So that's what you got to do. And you just got to keep moving forward.
Definitely.
All right. So let's talk about, we've got the trademark covered. When you're on your journey, let's talk about how you keep yourself in the game. Now, you've had your ebbs and flows up and down, like the days that you put it on the shelf, the days that you go, oh, well, this is not really happening, and I hear that happen so many times. What keeps you in the game?
I just look at the product again and I just think, oh, damn, it's good. It's so good. It's such a great product. Sometimes I'll talk to it. I'll just go, what do you need?
Crazy woman.
What is it? Tell me.
Yeah, tell me. Speak to me. Tell me how to make you a success.
I know. Where can you go? I know with the amount of people in this world that eat ice cream, the amount of people that would love this product, and you have to go back to your why. Why did I start this? Why did I love this in the beginning? And you read a lot of things about you have to make your pitch emotional. You've got to, get people to buy it through their emotions and all that kind of stuff. So I guess, I just go back to the why. Why did I do it? Why have I been doing this for such a long time? And
how long?
I don't really want to say.
No, come on, okay. The Revenant movie took 5 years to get up and be made with Leonardo DiCaprio. So a Rolls Royce takes 6 months to build, whereas a Toyota takes like 2 weeks. So a masterpiece takes some time for creation. Yeah,
look, just to go back to those still cooler days, that was 20 years ago.
20 years ago, wow.
I know, and I haven't aged a bit, so.
Who's older, the Tubbie or you?
Me. So when I started, Facebook wasn't even around. All those sorts of things. So it's so much easier now with Facebook and Instagram and, the tools that business people have now to get their things out there. Like I've had amazing success. I've had Marsha Hines tweet me. I've had, Ben and Jerry's follow me on Twitter. Something happened. A producer on the Ellen show. I sent him a tweet the other day from my Tubbie account. It was about a kitten, but he still replied to my tweet. and I have sent Tubbies off to Ellen. I've done things like there's gift bags that you pay a certain amount of money and you get your product in a gift bag for the Oscars or whatever. I haven't done the Oscars one, but I've done a few of those. I've done the Ellen one, and you've got to take a risk. Maybe that's something that you could look at. So if you're feeling a bit down about your product or your business, is there a risk I can take to get me out there, to launch me forward? Just make sure that you're mentally stable at the time that you take this.
Yeah. Go into that psychotic state of, oh, my business is not working, my idea hasn't gone up, and you go into a big head spin.
Yeah, if you're coming from a place of desperation, I think you just have to maybe give yourself a day off, a week off, whatever you need to get back in alignment with the product.
Mm.
If things aren't working, to me, that's saying that you're out of alignment with something there. So just go within. I mean, it might sound a bit woo-woo or whatever, but, doing this for 20 years, that's kind of my advice.
Yeah, well, look, the thing is I saw, and it's great advice, Lisa, on the Shark Tank, the other night, the first episode. There was a guy there that was promoting his business, and he just said, look, I'm going to die with this business being $1 billion business. And straight away, one of the sharks jumped in and said, look, I'm going to invest. And that was Steve Baxter.
Mm-hmm.
But how powerful is that? That's a true statement that this guy is behind his product and behind his idea. And no matter what obstacles or whatever is in his path, he's going to take his business to $1 billion business. And as soon as he said that, the physiology of the sharks just went, oh, this guy's serious. Let's back him. And I went, wow, like he just dropped that in there like that. And that's what it's about. You've got to stay in the game and know what the end result is. And even though you have your ebbs and flows, you've got to stick in because, one day, you'll just have that moment where it will just catapult. It's like those top 10 craziest videos that I sent through to you. There was one there that's just got one placement that was mentioned in the media, and it turned into $40 million.
Yeah.
$40 million.
Crazy, isn't it? There's a lot to be said for fake it till you make it as well.
Yeah.
At one point, we got interest from Nestle. They had a Heaven brand of ice cream that was a really high-end sort of brand of ice cream. And their marketing guy saw the product on lastminute.com, and he sent me an email from there. And he wanted to have a meeting, so I flew to Melbourne to have a meeting with him. And, oh, my God, I was crapping my pants, honestly. I had no experience at this kind of thing. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to pretend that I do. I'm just going to have to look like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I was so nervous, and I just took a lot of deep breaths and a lot of self-talk. I can do this. It's okay. And, we went through the meeting and did everything, and we got some beautiful samples made up for them. And they didn't go ahead. It was a cost issue because Tubbies are such a high-end product. There was a bit of cost involved with them because they actually are functional. They actually do what they say they're going to do. They stop your ice cream from melting. So we've got to pay for the top neoprene, and they look great with the fake fur. So all that comes at a cost. And I could have done a few different things, definitely. Back in hindsight now, I could have done a lot of different things. When they said no, I just kind of accepted that as a no, and I should have said, well, how else can we get the price down, blah, 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 whatever. As it turns out, they actually tried to copy the idea as well. Someone that we know, they sent a fax to this guy in Melbourne who has a business. He does all of the airline gifts, when you get on an airline and you get your creams and all that kind of stuff in first class. He does all that. And Nestle sent that company a fax back in the day about this, what the dimensions and can you get pricing on this product. And, of course, our friend Barry knew that it was the Tubbie. So he rang us up straight away and said, oh, my God, I've just had this fax from Nestle about the Tubbie. And I've gone, what?
Wow.
So
Nestle, how dare you?
I know, how rude. But they didn't go ahead with it anyway because I don't think that they could have got it any cheaper than what we had it for. So that was a lesson as well. It's a compliment because they wanted the product. It was just, these companies, they just want products for $1 or $2. And there's no way we could do that with the Tubby. So
Well, you think it really annoys me sometimes that companies, they get into the relationship and they engage with you, and then instead they could have said to you, is there any way that we can get this product cheaper? And if we can get this product cheaper, we'll do a deal with you.
yeah, like work together.
Yeah, what they did was they went to do it themselves to see if they loved the idea so much that they went somewhere else to try and get a better price, and they realised that probably they couldn't get a better price, and then they just ruled it out. But maybe there is a way to get them the cost of the product down somehow, and this is where you innovatively to get the product down, and then maybe there could have been a chance for the sale to go through. But what it really gets me riled up is that these companies just when they don't respect innovators and inventors, and that's what I want, is that they must respect the innovator and the inventor, the person that's created the idea, engage with them, and it's that whole belief, don't tell me how it can't be done, tell me how it can be done, and work to try and find a solution. If the cost of manufacturing is the issue, work a way forward to find out if you can get that reduced down somehow, instead of like then going straight direct and cutting the inventor and you see I'm getting held up. But anyway, I'm still mindful of time here. We're trying to cram a lot of things in. So what do you need now? What are you searching for? What's inside of you that you're earning for, that's like, what are the things that I need to now to take the product to boom level?
It needs someone. I really want to work with another person. I want a partnership with someone else, whether it's a distributor in America or Europe, the UK, a sort of a young entrepreneur that can see the value in the Tubby and just take it and run with it. Yes. And I'd love to work with that person and learn with that person and just be in that, to the next level, really. Of innovation and just experience, getting it out there to a international level.
Yeah, well, that's important, because like on the Shark Tank the other day, there was a guy there that was presenting his product. It was that numbering thing at sports games where it was quite innovative, where you turn it around and it's nice, and he purely was an innovator and a creator, but he just didn't have the numbers, wasn't a business person or whatever, and that's okay. And unfortunately he didn't get the investment. But, innovators and inventors, sometimes they need the entrepreneur to come in to take over the process, to take it to another level, and then the entrepreneur then needs the CEO or the general manager to take over and drive the process, and CEOs and managers need a team of people, talented people around to drive all the processes to take that product over the winning line. And that's the 400 by 100 meter relay analogy that I use. The inventor or the innovator comes out of the starting blocks with the bat, and he's running that first 100, and then he passes it to the entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur takes it the next 100 meters, then gives it to the CEO and the manager and the CEO then gives it to the team, and then the team take it over the finish line, and it's gold. And that's what it is. And you're looking for that partnership, which is pretty cool. So, what I'm saying is that innovators and inventors need talented people around them to succeed. And it's always a team effort, and team stands for together, everybody achieves more.
Yeah.
And that's what Inventors. So you've acknowledged that, so that's pretty cool.
But even just working with you, Tony, you're a champion for us.
Oh.
I'm so grateful that I found you, and that you're, what you give us as inventors and innovators is just priceless, honestly. To have you on my team as a friend and a confidant it means so much. So honestly, thank you for all your help for everybody, not only just for me, but for everybody that you've done. So
yeah, look, I love what I do. I love supporting innovators and entrepreneurs get their products to market. And we've got, for the viewers, Lisa and myself have got some stuff we're working through at the moment. I'm exploring to be a licensing scout, and what that means is that I work with inventors and innovators to take their product to market, and we're working on some things there. Lisa's just redone her website in alignment with a big promotion through the Food Network channel That show was called The Kitchen. So on Mother's Day, they had the Tubby in their show, The Kitchen, and it was seen by millions and millions of people. And we together worked on some things. And to finish off, the website, so if people want to buy a Tubby or know more about the Tubby, if there are any big companies out there that want to get into bed with Lisa and you know, bring the product to market or
Get into bed with the Tubbies, not me. I'm taking
no, yeah, well, yeah, not get into bed with the Tubby, not you, yeah, physically. We want to be very clear on that. I don't think your hubby would be appreciative of the Tubby and you being. Oh, let's not go there. But anyway, yeah, so many big companies out there that want to co-brand or rebrand or whatever, use the Tubby for a movie or their sporting club or whatever. What's the website address?
www.thetubby.com. TUBBIE.
Yeah, and as Molly Meldrum said, you know, on Countdown, do yourself a favour. Go out there and buy it. And that's what I'm suggesting to you guys today. Have the Tubby experience. Go and buy a product. Have a look at the various products that are on the site. And as I said, if there's any companies or any, you know, people that can help Lisa in marketing or any way possible to get this Tubby out there, a PR company, a television network, you know, Shark Tank or whatever, you know, just reach out to Lisa through the website. And to finish up, Lisa, look, thanks very much for the interview. It's been fantastic. We could have spoken for another half an hour, but I've got to zoom off soon to go, believe it or not, to the dentist.
Okay.
Get a tooth looked at up the back here. So otherwise we'd be talking for the next half hour. So just to finish off, what's one thing that you would say to an inventor or an innovator such as yourself that wants to start on that journey? What's one thing that you could say to them?
I'd probably say two things, if that's okay. One would be to do your homework.
Yeah.
Just research your butt off as much as you can. And that all that really means is, you know, people used to say to me all the time, oh, you've got to do your research. I'm like, what does that mean? It just means going on the internet, really, and just finding out everything about your industry, your product, whatever you can. Just find out as much as you can. And the second one would be to just look for great people to support you, because you will need it.
Yeah.
Friends and family for sure, but if you've got you know, networking or mentors, you know, go to the government. They've got some great resources for people starting up businesses. But have a champion, someone that can help hold you up in those times when you can't hold yourself up.
Yeah, great advice there, great advice. I call it the Team 100. Get a team of 100 people behind you from every facet of business, and whether it's emotional support or any support, to be a resource for you to help you, you know, get up that ladder and get to the top.
Definitely.
All right. Fantastic. We'll have a great Tubby day.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate your time. Thank
All right.
you.
We may get you back again to talk about some other things that we haven't covered in this this interview, but I really want to say thank you very much for your time. And we're working together, and let's try and get the Tubby up and get it out there and get it into the hands of many ice cream lovers around the world.
Definitely. Great. Let's do it.
The coolest way to eat ice cream.
Definitely.
All right. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tony.
See ya.